As a guy who's been around for a little while, that you look at sort of the next generation that's coming up, and you know, I mean, they have just the built-in advantage that they watched you fight, you know?
Yeah.
They've been watching it their whole life.
Yeah, I tell people that all the time. Is when I started training, YouTube was barely starting, and I actually tell people that that's the problem with you know, MMA in China. When I visited, is their internet isn't, you know, it's a little bit governed, so they're not able to get access as easy, you know. So for me, coming up early in the sport and not having access to all the moves and the sport evolving so much, is if you're not current, then you're going to get left out. And I noticed that a long time ago when I was training with guys barely making it into the big show. A lot of UFC guys are like, I don't even watch fights unless I'm fighting. And I would think to myself, man, if you're not watching every day and seeing where the trend is going, now guys are doing wrestling, and now guys are doing stand-up, now guys are really into jiu-jitsu again. Like, if you're not picking up those keys, then you're gonna miss the boat, and all of a sudden you're like, man, the sport passed me by. Well, and you're like, well, yeah, no shit.
And I assume it could inspire you to like try new things and like test things out.
Exactly,
right?
And then you see these young kids coming in just with all these different moves, and you're like, man, I gotta get better. I gotta evolve. I gotta, you know. And if you're not evolving, you're dying in the sport.
Yeah.
Which of the young guys has like really caught your eye? Whatever weight division, like who's the guy?
You know, there's a lot of guys. You know the Sugar Shane, the Izzy kid. You know, these guys that are getting a lot of hype. What's really impressing me though is the guys coming in with 6 fights into the UFC and looking composed. To me, that is what's impressing me. Is going, man, they only have 6 professional fights. They're on the biggest stage. It's like all this pressure, and they're out there looking like their range is good, everything's good. They make a mistake or two, but they're looking really good. So that's what's impressing me, is just the level of confidence guys are coming in with, and that, you know, when I came in, it took guys a long time to actually like perform well, you know.
And it doesn't make sense because the lights are brighter, right? Like there is a pressure. Like there's automatically a pressure that comes with it.
You know, literally the lights are brighter, but you know,
right,
but really all the pressure that gets put on you that people don't realize. They're like, your manager's like, oh, we need this win, and your team's really, you know, you spend more money than you've ever spent to prepare for that camp. You know, it's like all these things are new, you know, and you're like, man, I make so much more money if I win. You just put all this pressure on yourself, and it's inevitable to feel that pressure your first time fighting on a big show. So, you know, it is what it is.
Do you think that, I think you can only weigh in California, like you step into the octagon and it has to be 8% of what you weighed in? I don't know if I'm doing that. Do you think that's going to have an impact on performances at all?
Well, I think it's a guideline, so it's not like they're going to tell you can't fight. Okay. They're just going to request that you move up a weight class on the next fight. And I think it's good that the athletic commissions are trying to really monitor people a little better. I think the problem with our sport is people forget that we're professional athletes, and you know, they're like, they have the fighter mentality, because the sport, when it was started, you had your street fighters, the brawlers, you had the martial artist, you had the athlete, and the athlete kind of came later because you could make way more money in other sports, right? But the athlete is the one that's really paying attention to their body, and they know what it's like to be a professional athlete. The martial artist and the street fighter mentality, they're the guys that are like, yeah, I'll just cut the most at the end. You're just putting it off till later. So us as fighters need to be more professional. We need to be better with our diet. And then sadly enough, even the guys that are helping us with their diets don't know anything. You know, I'm reading some of the stuff with some of these top guys that are helping them cut weight, and it's like, they're like, oh, we're gonna cut the most weight ever. It's like, that's not smart.
That's not the goal.
Yeah, it's like, let's do it the smartest way. You know, with my coach Sam Calavita, he's telling me, I need you to be at this weight. I'm checking in with him. You know, like the commission's trying to do. I'm checking in with him every day, and he'll get on me. And it got to the point where it's like, okay, now I'm gonna make your meals. He intervened, you know, and I was like, yeah, well, I had a cheat meal, you know, because I was dieting, you know, but he wanted me a little more ahead of schedule than I was used to, and yeah, so it's been great. I feel strong, and I feel like I'm gonna make weight no problem.